Omega-3 fatty acids have been celebrated for years as one of the most important nutrients for heart health. You might have heard doctors, health magazines, and TV commercials talk about the benefits of eating fish or taking omega-3 supplements. But what's the real story? Does omega-3 truly protect your heart, or is it just another health trend? Today, let's take a gentle, thorough look at what omega-3 is, how it works, and what the latest research says about its impact on heart health, so you can make informed choices for your well-being. To begin with, let's understand what omega-3 fatty acids actually are. Omega-3s are a type of polyunsaturated fat, which means they are considered good fats. There are three main types of omega-3s that you might hear about: ALA, EPA, and DHA. ALA, or alpha-linolenic acid, is found mostly in plant oils, such as flaxseed, chia seeds, walnuts, and soybean oil. EAPA, or eicosapentaenoic acid, and DHA, or docosahexaenoic acid, are mainly found in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and tuna. While all three types are important, EPA and DHA are the most studied when it comes to heart health. Our bodies need omega-3s for many essential functions, including building cell membranes and producing hormones that regulate blood clotting, inflammation, and the contraction and relaxation of artery walls. Since the body cannot produce omega-3s on its own, we must get them from our diet. This is why omega-3s are called essential fatty acids. But why are omega-3s so closely linked to heart health? The interest in omega-3s began decades ago when researchers noticed that communities with high fish consumption, such as the Inuit people of Greenland and populations in Japan and the Mediterranean, had much lower rates of heart disease compared to people eating more Western diets. Scientists wondered if the omega-3s in fish were the protective factor, and since then, many studies have tried to answer this question. Let's look at the potential ways omega-3s might benefit the heart. First, omega-3s may help lower triglycerides, which are a type of fat found in the blood. High triglyceride levels are linked to increased risk of heart disease. Omega-3s can also help reduce inflammation in the body, which is thought to play a role in the development of atherosclerosis, or the hardening and narrowing of the arteries. In addition, omega-3s may help lower blood pressure slightly, reduce the risk of abnormal heart rhythms, slow the buildup of plaque in the arteries, and decrease the likelihood of blood clots. That all sounds promising, but what does the science actually say? Over the years, there have been hundreds of studies on omega-3s and heart health, including large clinical trials involving thousands of people. Some of these studies have shown clear benefits, while others have found little to no effect. Let's walk through what we know. Some of the earliest studies in the 1970s and 1980s found that the people who ate more fish had lower rates of heart attacks and sudden cardiac death. As a result, fish oil supplements became popular. Later, in the 1990s and early 2000s, several clinical trials suggested that taking omega-3 supplements may reduce the risk of dying from heart disease, especially in people who had already suffered a heart attack. These findings led many doctors to recommend fish oil supplements as part of a heart-healthy routine. However, more recent research has raised questions about just how strong these benefits are. In the past decade, large and well-designed studies have produced mixed results. For example, the VITAL study, which followed over 25,000 adults in the United States for more than 5 years, found that omega-3 supplements did not significantly lower the risk of heart attacks, strokes, or deaths from heart disease in healthy people. Other trials, like the ASCEND study in people with diabetes, also found little benefit for heart health. But there is still some good news. A few studies have found that higher doses of omega-3s, especially when taken as prescription-strength supplements, may help people with very high triglyceride levels or those who have already had a heart attack. For example, the REDUCE-IT trial found that a high dose of EPA, one specific type of omega-3, significantly reduced the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and cardiovascular death in people with high triglycerides who are already taking statin medications. So what does this mean for you? Should you be eating more fish or taking Omega-3 supplements. The answer depends on your personal health, your diet, and your doctor's advice. For most older adults, the best way to get omega-3s is through food rather than supplements. The American Heart Association recommends eating at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week, such as salmon, mackerel, herring, or sardines. These fish are rich in EPA and DHA, and eating them as part of a balanced diet seems to offer the most benefits for heart health. If you don't like fish or are unable to eat it, you can also get some omega-3s from plant sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and canola oil. However, the body is not very efficient at converting ALA from plants into EPA and DHA, so the benefits may not be quite the same. What about fish oil supplements? For most healthy older adults, routine use of over-the-counter fish oil capsules is not strongly recommended by most experts. The evidence suggests that they do not significantly lower the risk of heart attacks or strokes in people without heart disease. However, if you have high triglycerides or a history of heart problems, your doctor may recommend a prescription omega-3 supplement, which is different from what you find in the vitamin aisle at the store. It's also important to remember that omega-3 supplements are not a magic bullet. They are not a substitute for medications your doctor prescribes, nor can they replace a healthy lifestyle. Eating a balanced diet, staying physically active, not smoking, controlling blood pressure and cholesterol, and managing stress are all crucial for protecting your heart. Some people wonder if there are any risks to taking omega-3 supplements. In general, omega-3s are considered safe for most people when taken in moderate amounts. However, very high doses can increase the risk of bleeding, especially for people who take blood-thinning medications. Some people may also experience stomach upset, nausea, or a fishy aftertaste. That's why it's always best to talk with your doctor before starting any new supplement. There are also some concerns about mercury and other contaminants in fish, especially for older adults. Larger fish like swordfish, shark, and king mackerel tend to have higher mercury levels, which can be harmful in large amounts. However, most of the fatty fish recommended for omega-3s, such as salmon, sardines, and trout, are low in mercury. If you are concerned, canned light tuna is also a safer choice than albacore tuna. You can also look for fish that has been certified as safe and sustainable by organizations like the Marine Stewardship Council. To sum up, the story of omega-3 and heart health is complex. Omega-3s are essential nutrients that play many important roles in our bodies, including supporting heart health. Eating fatty fish twice a week as part of a balanced diet is associated with a lower risk of heart disease, and this is the approach most experts recommend. For most healthy people, taking fish oil supplements has not been proven to significantly reduce the risk of heart attacks or strokes. However, for certain people, such as those with high triglycerides or a history of heart disease, prescription omega-3 products may offer benefits, but these decisions should always be made with your healthcare provider. Let's talk a bit about how to add more omega-3s to your meals in simple, tasty ways. If you enjoy fish, try grilling or baking salmon with a sprinkle of lemon and herbs, or make a hearty fish stew with tomatoes and vegetables. Sardines and mackerel can be added to salads or mashed onto whole grain toast for a satisfying snack. If you're not a fan of fish, adding ground flaxseed to your morning oatmeal, sprinkling chia seeds on yogurt, or snacking on a handful of walnuts are easy ways to boost your intake of plant-based omega-3s. Remember, variety is key. Along with omega-3 rich foods, make sure your diet includes plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Keeping meals colorful and diverse helps ensure you get all the nutrients your body needs for healthy aging. It's also helpful to enjoy meals with others. Eating together is not only good for your body, but it's also good for your mind and spirit. Sharing a meal with family, friends, or neighbors can lift your mood and help you feel connected, which is another important part of staying healthy as we age. Let's not forget physical activity, which works hand in hand with a healthy diet to protect your heart. Even gentle movement, like walking, gardening, or stretching, helps keep your heart strong and your body flexible. Talk to your doctor about the best types of activity for you, And remember that even small steps can make a big difference. If you are curious about your own heart health, ask your healthcare provider about your cholesterol levels, blood pressure, and any specific recommendations for diet and supplements. Everyone's needs are a little different, so it's important to find a plan that works for you. Some people may worry about the cost of eating more fish or buying supplements, but there are affordable options. Canned salmon, sardines, and tuna are often less expensive than fresh fish and are just as nutritious. When choosing supplements, look for products that have been tested for purity and safety by third-party organizations, and avoid taking more than the recommended dose. It's natural to feel confused when you hear mixed messages about nutrition and supplements. New studies are published every year, and advice can change as we learn more. The most important thing is to base your choices on reliable information and to focus on habits that stand the test of time, like eating well, moving your body, and connecting with others. Let's take a moment to recap the key points about omega-3 and heart health. Omega-3 fatty acids are essential nutrients found in fatty fish and some plant foods. They play important roles in cell structure, hormone production, and reducing inflammation. Eating fatty fish twice a week is linked to a lower risk of heart disease. For most healthy people, omega-3 supplements have not been proven to prevent heart attacks or strokes. People with high triglycerides or a history of heart disease may benefit from prescription-strength omega-3s, but only under a doctor's care. Omega-3 supplements are generally safe, but high doses can cause side effects and interact with certain medications. Getting nutrients from whole foods is usually better than taking supplements. A heart-healthy lifestyle involves more than just one nutrient. It includes a balanced diet, physical activity, stress management, and social connections. As you think about your own health, remember that it's never too late to make positive changes. Whether it's adding a serving of fish to your weekly meals, trying a new healthy recipe, or taking a walk with a friend, every step counts. Ask questions, stay curious, and work with your healthcare team to find the right approach for you. In the world of health and nutrition, there are very few miracle foods or supplements. True wellness comes from a combination of good habits, thoughtful choices, and caring for yourself in body, mind, and spirit. Omega-3s are just one piece of the puzzle, but when included as part of a healthy lifestyle, they can help support your heart and overall well-being. If you have more questions about omega-3s, fish oils, or what's best for your heart, don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare provider. And remember, making small, steady improvements to your daily routine can lead to big benefits over time. Your health is your greatest treasure. By staying informed and making wise choices, you can enjoy more energy, vitality, and joy in your golden years. Keep learning, keep moving, and keep taking good care of yourself.